Today on the Now D1 Speak Show, 24 uncommitted, Myles Draughn out of North Carolina. We do this series Monday through Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Super excited to welcome Myles. Hey, Myles, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Hey, man, thank you. All right, everybody, it's 9 o'clock. Let's get right into it. So, Myles, why don't you introduce yourself to us? Let us know things like your GPA, where you go to high school, your travel team, maybe how you got into baseball.
So my name is Myles Draughn. I go to North Surrey High School in class of 2024. I have a 4.02 GPA. I play baseball for USA Prime and North Surrey. And I got into to baseball when I was about 4 years old, playing catch with my dad in the yard and watching MLB on TV and stuff.
Hey, that's a great way to get into baseball. So kind of give me an idea. Where is North Surrey High School?
So North Surrey's in North Carolina in Surrey County towards Virginia.
Oh, okay. So probably kind of like the central part of the state, but right on the Virginia, almost on the Virginia border. Right. All right. Well, fantastic. Well, Myles, hey, let me ask something. Have you finished your high school season?
Yes, sir, I have.
All right. How'd y'all end up doing?
We did pretty good. I mean, I think things could have been better, which I should have, but.
Okay. Have you got your schedule together for the summer?
Can you say it again?
Do you have your schedule for the summer?
Yes, I do. I think we're playing in Atlanta and Duke and Carolina and Atlanta again, maybe.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. That sounds big time. Hey, what position do you play? And kind of give us a little bit of an idea. What are some of your strengths, and then maybe a couple things that you're working to improve upon?
So I play first and third, and I'm a right-handed pitcher. And I would say my biggest strengths are my size and my bat. And I'm trying to get my arm back up there where I had surgery, but it's getting there. And then my weakness would be my speed. I currently run a 7.4 60. And I would like to try to get that on up there to about 7.6 6.9.
Well, I tell you one thing, Myles. If you hit the ball far enough, it really doesn't matter how fast you run. Hey, hey, all right. So a couple of interesting things there that you kind of threw out. One of your strengths is your size. Give us some measurements.
So I'm 6'2", 220.
All right, dude. That is big. No doubt about it. And you said you're coming back a little bit from some arm surgery?
Yeah, I had so in October I was throwing a bullpen at practice and my arm kind of popped. So I decided to go get it checked out. And the doctor told me I had an avulsion fracture. So we went ahead and had a surgery called UCL repair with internal brace. So I'm still coming off of that.
That was in October of 22?
Yes, sir.
How did that affect your high school season?
I wouldn't say it affected it much. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I was just DHing and stuff and still getting my arm back to where it was. And it's still not 100%, but I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something. Pre-surgery, what kind of velocity did you have?
I was probably 83, 84, and I was keep climbing until it kind of popped.
Yeah, absolutely. What about your secondaries? What do you throw?
I have no idea. I never got that tested.
No, what I mean is, what are your off-speed pitches?
I threw a slider, a curveball, and a changeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your go-to pitch?
I like my changeup a lot. I felt like I could locate it better than anything.
I got to tell you, I'm sitting here trying to imagine facing a kid your age, 6'2", 220, bringing heat, and then all of a sudden he comes out there with a changeup. That's I tell you, that's got to fool a lot of batters.
Yeah, I love it.
I can understand.
I play it a lot.
That's good stuff, man. Hey, anybody that's joining, thank you so much for being here. Kind of kick it off. We do this Monday through Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern. We record this space, so if anybody was in a little bit late, you'll still be able to hear it in its entirety. We've got Myles Draughn with us tonight. He's a 24 uncommitted. He's out of North Carolina. Hey, let me ask you something, and this is a great question because I'm thinking about motivation. One, to continue to improve your skills, and just keep pushing yourself to get better. But kind of talk to me, if you can as well, about the injury you had. And I could, I've got to imagine that was a pretty scary thing in October. That probably kind of really took you back. And then when you started getting back out on the field, how did you, not just the motivational part, but how did you kind of keep your, what I'm trying to say, where you weren't scared that you were going to hurt your arm again, that you were just gaining confidence as you were getting physically stronger?
I don't know. I just kind of went out there and tried to forget anything ever happened to it and just be like normal. It didn't really affect me that much, I wouldn't say.
Well, I got to say, that's pretty impressive, not to be affected by anything like that. How about some of the guys that you play with and so forth? Do y'all kind of keep each other motivated?
Yeah, we do some stuff, and just talk to each other before the game, get everybody on board.
Okay. All right. I like that. It's important. You got to have that team. You got to have somebody that's kind of pushing you just a little bit. You know what I mean? And then it helps when you're pushing someone else. So, yeah, I can appreciate that team atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Hey, all right. So you had told us earlier one of the things that got you started playing baseball was, you're 4 years old, you're throwing with your dad, so forth, probably watching some games on TV, just kind of got you hooked. And now you've been playing a long time. And, think back over your career, maybe about a memorable moment or any particular achievement that you accomplished that you're very proud of, but more importantly, kind of frame it so that we know maybe what you learned from that moment or achievement.
I would say my most memorable moment was when I hit a home run off Jackson Ferris. I don't know if you know him, but he got drafted in the second round this year to the Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay.
And I kind of learned that it don't matter how hard they're throwing, what they're throwing, anything. As long as you go up there with a plan, you're going to hit the ball.
Man, I love that. That is big time. Hey, did you know Jackson?
Yeah, me and him has been friends for a while.
Okay.
And I still have the home run ball, and I told him a while back before he went to spring training that I was going to get him to sign it when he goes to the show.
Man, I love it. Well, why don't you just join him at the show and y'all can sign each other's? Hey, thinking about your town, is it relatively small or is it a bigger area? And the only reason I'm asking, if you knew Jackson and he was a couple years older than you, do you kind of know some of the other guys when you're playing against them and have been for a number of years?
Yeah, he got drafted to the Cubs, not the Rays. I'm sorry. I messed that up. But, yeah, it's a small town. We ain't really got much around here. I mean, he's a once in a long generation type of athlete around here, I would say.
I hear you. Well, hey, anybody that makes it like that is a generational type athlete. Doesn't matter where you're from. I'm thinking
we always knew he was going to go somewhere because when he started young, you could tell that he was different than everybody.
Yeah, that's incredible. I can appreciate that. Hey, guys, again, thank you, everyone that's joining. Absolutely appreciate that. We do this live. I mean, this is we record it, but we don't say, all right, we messed up that line, let's do it again. I mean, you're just kind of hearing it the way it is. And then when we complete it, we do put it out as a podcast as well. And it's on every platform, from Apple to Spotify to Radio Public, Overcast, you name it. If you can find a platform it's not on, please let me know, and I will absolutely write an angry letter because it should be everywhere. All right. Nice. Hey, Myles, let me ask you something about that impressive GPA you've got, that 4.02. And that's big time. And that really shows a commitment to academics as much as you're committed to athletics as well. But how do you really balance that? And the reason I say, I know you put in a lot of work to be a good baseball player, and it takes a lot of time. You already mentioned your summer schedule. You have it. I know that you were doing a lot of rehab, plus playing in games, going to practice, so forth. But you maintain the academic piece. How do you do that?
Well, in school, my teachers, they kind of know that I'm an athlete, so they can understand if I turn something in late or something. But I try to get as much done as I can during class, and then I'll go home and I'll do as much as I can, get my homework done and stuff like that, and then go do whatever for baseball.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I like that. You got a good relationship with your teachers that they'll understand, what's going on. That's outstanding. Hey, how about again thinking through your career, especially with all the teammates you've got and memorable moment that you had with Jackson Ferris? But are there any particular players or coaches who have really been influential, in your life and particularly the development of you as a player?
I would say Danny Schaefer because he's been my hitting coach since I was probably 7. He played in the MLB and he's been a professional coach for a long time. And he just motivates me every time I go see him to keep getting better and where I could be if I kept working hard.
Man, that's pretty impressive. Is he from the same town as you guys?
No, he's from
So,
Pennsylvania, but he moved here.
okay. All right. Anything that Danny does to help other people as well in the off time?
Yeah, he throws a lot of camps and then like charity fundraisers for him to go to the Dominican Republic to throw camps and stuff to help kids down
Man,
there.
that's impressive. Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like an impressive guy. Have you ever had an opportunity to travel with him to the Dominican?
No, I have not. I
Okay.
want to though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty special right there. Guy, hey, man, you're surrounding yourself with some big time people. I mean, you got former MLB guy helping you with your batting. That says a lot. Hey, kind of thinking still about your academic piece, kind of going back and forth, but I'm imagining you going through a day in school, and maybe you've got your homework together or you've asked the teacher if you can have a little bit of extra time. Maybe there's been a social dynamic that's happened during the day. It's a stressful 7 hours or so that you're in the classroom. And then when you leave, more than likely, you're going straight out to the field. And it may be earlier in the year you were doing a rehab, or maybe it's a little bit later and you were just practicing, or more than likely, you're just prepping for a game. And anytime that you walk out of one situation, how do you just turn on that switch to put everything that happened during the day behind you and really just get your mind right for a baseball game?
So I'll go in the locker room probably about an hour and a half before the game starts, and I'll start listening to music. Then go to the cage and get some swings in until I feel like I'm gonna do all right, and then do some glove drills like short hops and just regular ground balls, and do some stretching with bands and stuff like that.
You definitely got a routine, and it's something that you like to really stick to and do it the same way every time.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I think that helps you, and it takes out so much pressure. You know what I mean? Where you're not having to think,
Yeah.
okay, what should I be doing next to get ready? No, you got a nice routine down. I like that. I like it a lot. Hey, how about kind of short term here? As your high school season is over, what are you thinking about goal wise that you'd really like to accomplish over the summer? And then as you roll into your senior year, what are those goals? And then a little bit longer, if you kind of look out over the next 5 years or so, what are those goals? So kind of both sides, right? What are you trying to accomplish right in front of you? And then what do you have out in front of you for the next 5 years or so?
So this summer I would like to try to get some more college coaches to notice me and get my name out there more. And I just want to play at the highest level I can play at, keep going till I can't go no more.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what as you're kind of thinking about being noticed and so forth, I mean, what kind of schools are you thinking about? You don't have to say the
I'm thinking,
names of them. Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, are you thinking 4 year schools, in-state schools, JUCO, more academically inclined schools, D3, so forth? I mean, if you kind of had a comfort zone, where do you think you would fit in?
I think I would like to go to a D2, probably like somewhere here in North Carolina. That's good for academics and play baseball.
Yeah, I love that. I can understand the academic fees, especially, I mean, that's such a great GPA. What are you thinking about majoring in when you get to school?
I want to do pre-med. I want to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Oh man, that's awesome! Congratulations! What a great goal. I tell you, you've already got the academic piece to kind of really to push you that direction. I can understand why you're thinking that. When did that first come to you? When you were injured, or had you been thinking about that earlier in life?
Well, when I got hurt, it kind of showed me how cool everything was in that field, and I was like, I really want to do this. Seems like it could be a lot of fun, and I could help other people.
Oh man, Myles, that is so cool. That's such a blessing. It's very inspiring, to hear something like that. That was a situation that could have been so negative in your life. And I have been just impressed with you, Myles, the entire time. Your attitude was fantastic, that you were going to get better. You were out on the field, you were helping your team in whatever manner. You knew you couldn't throw at the time, you were just DHing. It would have been so easy to kind of pack it in and really feel sorry for yourself. But you look at the grades that you continue to put out there, you look at the product that you put out there athletically, and now in the back of your mind, this entire time you're thinking, hey man, I could really do this. I could be an orthopedic surgeon. I love that. I mean, that's something, what a great story. I mean, I am really pulling for you. I mean, I can only imagine you 30 years from now kind of telling your story as to how you got to where you are. That is really cool, Myles. Appreciate you sharing that. Hey, the college, the D2 colleges and so forth, or any college, really, if you're gonna play baseball, you kind of need to be recruited. I know you mentioned this summer that you were really looking to be maybe get on a few more coaches' radar, so forth, and to be seen. Where are you in the recruiting process? Are you just kind of starting to kick things off? Your arm's starting to get right. You're looking at this summer to get kind of get noticed and then potentially start reaching out or have coaches reach out to you?
So before I got hurt, I was starting the recruiting process a little bit. Then I got hurt and it slowed down a lot. And now I'm starting to pick it up a lot more and just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely, man. College, I tell you, it can be tough. And Myles, I will tell you a small little plug for this Now D1 Speaks is it's to help guys get heard as much as they are seen. From what I've been able to notice, there are a lot of talented baseball players across the country. And there's guys that are big, they're fast, they're strong, they know how to play baseball. Coaches at every level are stressed for time. I mean, their budgets are so that they just can't be on the road recruiting all the time. They can't just be spending all day on Twitter looking at videos. I mean, they're stretched as far as they could possibly be. And one of the things that potentially coaches may miss is the character of kids off the field because they don't have time, as I just mentioned. I mean, they are very, very busy, and quite frankly, they're there to win games as well. And they need men on the team that are squared away, high character, good GPAs, take care of their business. I mean, they are mature people. And I think this little forum gives people just like you, Myles, the opportunity to say, hey, I've got my act together. And let me show you how I've got my act together, from the way I play the game to the way I handle my physical self to the way I handle my mental self. And you're doing that 100%. I mean, you've put down the hard work, and that hard work, I can tell, is going to pay off for you over the summer and through next year. I mean, you've got a great head on your shoulders. You already got a fantastic plan out in front of you, and you're right here kind of at the doorstep of your entire life. And so, hey, man, congratulations. You're absolutely putting in the work that's going to pay off for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Hey, let's kind of wrap it up with one last little question. If there's anything that you would like to bring up or ask me or talk about afterwards, please feel free. But think back to the young kids, when you started really figuring out that you wanted to play baseball. Maybe you were 7 or 8, 10 years old, and you were thinking, man, I love baseball. I just kind of want to do this all the time. What type of advice would you give a 10-year-old now?
I would say don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Babe Ruth said that. I mean, you can't go up there thinking you're going to strike out every time or make a bad play, make an error here and there, because you're never. It always happens to everybody, even the pros. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, I like that. Isn't it amazing? Like you said with Babe Ruth, I mean, baseball is just a game of failure, isn't it? And it's
Yep.
the way you react to that failure is really what separates great ball players from just average ball players. Man, Myles, I can't tell you how much I've really enjoyed tonight and just getting to know you a little bit better. And I'm really excited for you. I want to keep up with you, and I wish you nothing but the best of success. I think that you got a great support system. And I'm just really happy for you. I think tonight was a great night. I just really want to thank you for being here. And I want to thank everybody that's joined for listening in as well and supporting Myles. I will tell you that tomorrow night we're going to do a special show. Typically, we don't get together on Friday, but we're going to have Jeremy Booth on. Jeremy has just written a book, and we're pretty excited about that. It's The Mind of a Scout. He is with New Balance, the Future Stars series, and he does Program 15. And he's going to come on to our show, talk a little about the book. I think the book kicks off sales on Monday. So that should be a really, really cool show. I would invite anyone that's listening to be back this same time tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And if you don't catch that one, then it will be on a podcast as well. And be on the lookout for the podcast with Myles. It'll be posted tomorrow. All right. Hey, Myles, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Good night, everybody.